Thus, during the week, the House of Senate raised alarm over the invasion of terrorists known as Lakurawa from Mali and Burkina Faso to Kebbi, Sokoto, Kaduna, and other northwestern states, including Niger State in the north-central. To curb this trend, the Senate tasked the military to set up early warning mechanisms to prevent further incursions, as well as maintain presence and vigilance in the affected communities. The Senate also urged the military to work hand in glove with the communities and other security agencies to forestall activities of terrorists in the country. I still have Justice Ojena with me and Supriya Membri right here. Now, Supriya, let me begin with you. Now, what can be done immediately to forestall a level of security before these terrorists, entrench themselves fully in the northwest? Now, a fortnight ago in Kebbi, over 17 persons were killed and houses razed to the ground. What recommendations would you be offering right now to actually stop them at the thick of their nonsense?
First of all, this problem started with the fundamentals, first of all.
Okay.
Our handling of the crisis, the political crisis in Niger Republic is what is causing this. Okay. Burkina Faso stands, Niger Republic is a buffer zone for Burkina Faso and Mali to Nigeria. And now they are a confederation, right? They all have military juntas in place, and they are now collaborating together. You can't tell me that terrorists move from Burkina Faso to Niger Republic, down to Nigeria, enter deep into Nigeria, and the intelligence services and the security operatives in those countries do not know. You understand? Again, if you look at the fallout from our handling of that situation in Niger Republic, it has caused a trust deficit. Look at the multinational joint task force. Look at the position of Chad before and now in that body. The NSA, in a very right move, went to see the president of Chad, the head of state of Chad. And I think that's effort to repair what has been broken, the trust that has been broken. We want democracy, and we are all advocates and champions for democracy. But we should also look at our national interest as a people, right? You cannot tackle Lukwarawa and other terrorist organizations without the collaborations of our neighbor. Those our neighbors are very essential to tackling insecurity. Yes. So if we collaborate with them, we have to work with them, regardless of whether they have a military junta and the rest of that. Unfortunately, it has happened. So the point is now, how do we collaborate? How do we repair the trust deficit and work together? And again, one of the symptoms of this problem, this is just a symptom of a fundamental problem. What is that fundamental problem? The failure of governance in those local areas. There's a video of these people recruiting people for as much as 1 million naira. Who wouldn't take it? Because people are saying that religion and all those things pushes people. But those are not mostly the pull factors or the push factors. Most of them is economic, hardship.
Okay, let me hold you there a bit. Now, he made some very valid points. Now, despite the diplomatic relationships we share with these neighboring countries, right, how did the terrorist group from Mali and Burkina Faso, like he said, infiltrated the Nigerian territory without the DSS providing the intelligence? Now, are you saying the relationship has broken so bad that intelligence will not have flown and the DSS were not aware that something of this magnitude was coming, so that the army and the officials would have been alerted that, look, there's a danger looming, let's take action? I mean, how do you explain this?
I was even very, very shocked to hear that the news is coming from the Senate. That it's the senators that are raising the alarm.
Right.
It ought to rightfully be DSS, not just DSS, even NIA, because NIA is the arm that does the international, when intelligence becomes cross-border issues. Our armed forces too, are they alive to these their responsibilities? You referenced what happened 2 weeks ago, and he also came to our own knowledge that there is something called Lakurawa just about 1 month ago, and they've been around for more than 6 years.
In as much as we are not going to conclude here that there's a breakdown somewhere, is it possible that there's a breakdown in the relationship within our neighboring countries because of what transpired earlier?
I think that we shouldn't even take that as a conjecture. It's a certainty that there is serious break in the relationship that we share.
So how can we fortify this relationship back to back to life. So
it has to be C class to C class, as they say in corporate. It has to be president to president, head of state to head of state. Okay. They have to actually sit down at a round table, national security advisor to national security advisor, sit down at the highest level of government and security, and actually pledge loyalties back afresh to themselves, so that as much as possible, this issue will be killed to its roots and not just cosmetically.
All right, so Prela Membre, you mentioned something about the people weaponizing poverty to lure these people. Now, how can we quickly nip this in the bud? Because obviously, like you said, the incentives are very enticing and it's so difficult to turn it down.
Well, it's a multi-pronged approach.
Okay. And
it also requires various tiers of government. Virtually in Nigeria at the moment, the local level of government has broken down. That is the problem we have right now in Nigeria.
So you're saying
yes,
from local government issues?
Yes, if the local government is alive to their responsibilities, providing education, providing basic amenities. We talk about multidimensional poverty. What is that? Talking about lack of basic amenities for these people. Those people don't need much, right? If you can provide those things, it disincentivizes those people, you know, to join this type of groups. Because at the end of the day, joining them means their life is also at risk. Who wants to die?
All right, who wants to die? That's the word right there. All right, thank you so much. We move on to the last